baby, my mama will rock you.
Okay, start.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the garage. My family and I, we have been placed into quarantine for the next little while. I won't really go into any details, but just know that we are all okay. It's just something we got to go through right now. Hopefully it just lasts a few more days and we should be good to go. But I have just been trying to keep myself busy so I don't go crazy at home. I'm so used to working 6 days a week that sitting around at home is definitely something that I'm not used to. So I've been doing a lot around the house to try and stay busy, but now it's time to get out to the garage. So we've still got some work to do on the Furious Civic, and unfortunately Tim can't come out because of the situation that we're in right now. So I'm gonna try and do as much work on this thing as I can to get it ready for paint. So basically we have booked a paint booth this week. It's 2 days away now, so we got to get the car ready for that. Hopefully this quarantine situation is over by then, and then we can kind of get together and move this car to the paint shop. But before that happens, we got to make sure it's 100% ready. So I'm going to spend some time on that today. We'll see how far we get. I also have to do some work on Frankenstein and get it ready for winter. And there's also another thing that I want to reveal to you guys yet too. For not a winter project, but it's definitely going to be something to keep us occupied in the winter. So stay tuned for that, and let's get started. All right, guys, so here's where the Furious Civic stands right now. We basically got the whole thing sanded and scuffed down. All the bodywork itself is done. We're really just looking at getting rid of some of these deeper scratches. So I'll have to do a bit of sanding there and some scuffing. We actually had our buddy come down. He's going to be the guy doing the paint for us and kind of give us a few things that we had to do yet before it would be ready. Basically it's just a bit more sanding and a bit more scuffing, and it's going to be ready. So I'm going to take care of that. That's kind of what's on my list for today. So let's get going on it. Alright guys, so I spent a good chunk of the day sanding and scuffing the car. I also ended up taking the orbital sander with the Scotch-Brite and scuffed the entire body kit again. I did both side view mirrors, I did the door handles, And then I also did the license plate frame by hand. So I think the car is exactly where we need it to be. Now, something else that I have to do yet, because there was a side impact on this side of the car and this window has been replaced. I don't know what the guy did to replace this window, but the sealant that he used is all cracking along here and it doesn't look very good. So basically what we are going to do is try and fill that in nicely with some different sealant. It may not end up looking perfect, but it'll definitely be better than this looks because this is just terrible. So I'm gonna see what I can do with that. And then something else we gotta work on yet is this front bumper here. You can see that it kind of droops down in the middle. So our idea was when we're putting the mesh in the bumper that the mesh is actually gonna hold that part in place. The problem with that is we don't have time to do mesh anymore. That's gonna have to happen after the car is painted. But if we just let the car get painted like this, as soon as we flex that bumper, the paint's gonna crack. So what I wanna do is kind of build a brace that's going to keep that in place so that when the car gets painted, it's gonna stay in the position that it's supposed to be in. So I wanna figure something else out for that yet too. So I'm gonna get started on that back window and get that sealant done, get that out of the way because that's probably the worst job. And then we'll go from there. All right guys, so I just finished this up and here's what we got. So like I said, it's not gonna be perfect, but it's definitely a lot better than what it was. So any imperfections in it, like I can see right here, we can take care of that after it's dry. We'll just take a razor blade to it and smooth that out, because if we try to fix it now, we're probably just gonna make it worse. All right guys, so now I've been trying to figure out a way to get this bumper to stop drooping in the middle. And I've been brainstorming for a while now. I've even come up with ideas using wood. I got some steel here that I was gonna try to make a bracket out of. I've tried all kinds of stuff and nothing's really been working. I really didn't want to use wood because that's like super redneck. But I did end up looking at something that we had put under here earlier, which we basically were using a piece of wire like this, and it was bolted to the bottom, and mainly what it was doing is just pulling the bumper in. But when I had a look at it, there was slack in it, so it's not really doing anything at the moment. So my idea now is to get this piece of metal strapping, and I've drilled a hole in it. And basically what I'm gonna do is use that same bolt hole that we used for that wire, run the metal strapping in there, but instead of bolting it to the bottom like it was before, I'm gonna put a bunch of tension on it and kind of bring it up and around the rad support here. And by doing that, it's going to pull it in, but it's also gonna pull it up, and I'm hoping I can get this somewhat close to level. That's basically what I'm gonna try now. Hopefully that works, and we'll see what happens. Okay guys, I think this is gonna work. So I have the strapping in place now. So I bolted it from underneath, and then I kind of wrapped it around the rad support. And then I just have a self-tapping screw down there holding it to the rad support, but I made it really tight, and it seems to be holding. It's still not 100% perfect. There's a bit of a droop right in here yet, but it's so minimal now that I think we're safe to paint the car. And then when we put the mesh in place, we'll be able to just kind of fine tune that a little bit, and we should get it pretty nice and straight. But it's to the point now where it's not gonna over flex and crack the paint. I think we'll still be able to manipulate this after it's painted and we'll be safe. So I think this is good. I'm gonna call it good enough for now. And there's just a couple more things I gotta do. So I gotta swap out these wheels, and I got a set of ASA 14-inch rims with all-season tires on them. Lambo doors in the way. Okay, these guys, and they're basically brand new tires on them, so these will handle a lot better in the snow that we have right now than these bald, hard as a rock tires that we got on here now. So I got one more tire back here. This one had a bit of a slow leak, so I know you guys are gonna cringe, but I put a little bit of slime in there. Hopefully that'll seal it up because it was a very slow leak. Personally, I hate using slime because I used to work in a tire shop and that stuff gets everywhere. But if it works, I'm okay with it. So as long as we can get it to the paint shop, get it painted and get the car back into storage, then we should be a-okay. So I'm gonna get these wheels swapped out real quick. It's probably not a bad idea to put a filter back on the intake here. And I just realized that we had taken the taillights out when we were doing some of the sanding. So those will need to go back in so the car can be driven. But yeah, other than that, I think we are very close now. Okay, so I just checked the oil level and it was way over full and it smelled like gas. So that means there's gas getting into the crankcase, which makes sense because the car has been sitting for a while. So I'm currently draining the oil and I'll put some fresh stuff in there. Doesn't that look delicious? All right, guys, it is another day today, and I've spent some time already cleaning up the garage after yesterday's adventures. Today, I'm gonna try to get to work on Frankenstein a little bit. So all I really got planned for today is to get Frankenstein ready for winter, which isn't a whole lot. I basically just need to swap the wheels over and put it on car dollies so that we're able to move around the garage. Normally, these wheels that I just put on the Furious Civic yesterday are the wheels that I would use for winter. Now, I don't really have any spares other than the wheels that I just took off of the Furious Civic, which are 17-inch Koenigs, which could look a little bit silly on Frankenstein, but it's got to be done, I think. So I actually have my track tires on Frankenstein right now. Well, they're my daily driving tires, but they're also track tires at the same time. So these are the same kind of tires that I actually use for the track, and they're kind of like my spares. I don't know, I don't want to get into details, it's kind of confusing. But yeah, these are Bridgestone Potenza RE71Rs. So they grip very well at the track, but if you leave them out in the cold too long, it starts to break them down, and then they don't perform as well anymore. So I always store these inside for winter. So that's why I'm doing the swap. So let's jack up Frankenstein. We'll get the swap done. It's not going to take very long. Holy crap, guys. What do you think about this? Look at that fitment, not bad. Drop a comment below, guys. Let me know what you think about these wheels, because that is something else. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say. I'm glad it's just for winter and I'm not going to be taking this thing out in public, but oh man. I'm just going to be laughing at this for a while. Sorry, guys. Alright guys, that should about do it. Frankenstein is basically ready for winter. The last thing that I would normally do is take the battery out of it and store it inside as well. But we're actually using that battery on the Furious Civic right now, so the battery's already out. So we've made real progress these past couple of days. So Frankenstein's ready, Furious Civic is ready. So I guess the next project we have is the Supra, which is on the driveway there. So we probably won't get around to that in a little while yet, because we are taking the Furious Civic to the paint shop tomorrow. So Furious Civic's gonna be out of here and we're gonna be painting it this week. So that is dang exciting. I am stoked about it. I hope you guys are too. So yeah, that's probably gonna take up a lot of our time this week. And I got some good news. We are in the clear, so I'm no longer in quarantine. So we should be able to head out tomorrow and drop off the Civic with no problems. I haven't quite been cleared to go back to work yet. It's probably going to take another day or so before I can go back there. So I still got tomorrow off. So I'm going to find some stuff to keep busy tomorrow yet too, and we'll see you then. All right, guys. So I got one more thing I got to show you before I end this video. And it's parked right outside here. So this is what's gonna help us get through the winter. So this is my 2008 Arctic Cat Snow Pro F8. So picked this up a few weeks ago now. I was into sledding a lot when I was younger, and once my son was born, I sold my sled, and I figured he's old enough now that we can get back into it. So I picked this thing up. Now we're just waiting for snow because we don't have enough to sled yet. And the weather lately has been really sunny and warm, so a lot of the snow has actually started to melt. So that kind of starts to suck when you got a sled, because then you're waiting for snow. But yeah, I'm stoked about it. Glad I was finally able to pick one up again. And here, I'm gonna fire it up for you guys real quick. It's been sitting for a while, but it shouldn't take too much to get it fired up. So yeah, I got to do a little bit of preseason maintenance on the thing yet, but other than that, it is good to go. So I'm going to be making some videos with doing the maintenance on it, and of course riding. So you can look forward to that once we finally get some snow. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's basically going to wrap up this video today, guys. Thanks for sticking around this long. I'm sorry the video was so random, but this was just me trying to keep busy during this whole quarantine thing. So Tim's actually coming by later since we're finally in the clear, and we're going to get the Furious Civic off to the paint shop today. So the next content that you guys see will probably be Furious Civic getting painted. So we are stoked about that. This is huge for us. We've never actually got something professionally painted before. So yeah, if you guys are stoked about it, definitely give us a thumbs up. Drop a comment below too, let us know what you think. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, definitely hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time.